Okay, we go live. Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Hi, Dr.
Hello,
Teh. Hi.
hello, Alice. So,
Hi,
thank you
Dr.
for being
Teh.
on. Hi, thank
Yeah,
you for being on. So,
nice for having me today as well. Yep.
greeting, Dobbs. This is our Saturday night chit chat.
Mm-hmm.
Not CPD, but really something we talk about, something different every week.
Mm-hmm.
Hope to interest our doctors in our community. So, you would have seen in our think we're talking about cloud EMRs today, and with me is Alice Tan, who is in charge of Avixo operations in Malaysia. So Avixo, you may or may not know, is one of the cloud-based electronic medical record or clinic management systems in for Malaysia and Singapore. So on and off, there are people who ask about questions about cloud EMRs and how useful would it be for clinics, especially GPs. So, and then recently there was a brief discussion in Dobbs Telegram about very cheap EMR and clinic management system, and are they okay to go with, and so on. So I think I'm glad, Alice, you got some time to be on
Mm-hmm.
tonight. I'm sure there's some doctors who might have some questions, but I think the common ones
Mm-hmm.
people ask about cloud EMR is, you say if
Yep.
they have no EMR, they just have a
Mm-hmm.
paper-based or card-based
Yep.
record system, or
Mm-hmm.
perhaps they're very old standalone electronic medical record. They want to, which is already no longer
Mm-hmm.
supported or outdated, and then they want to move on. And then how easy is it to migrate or
Mm-hmm.
adapt to a new EMR? And these cloud-based EMRs are becoming very important too in the era of COVID, because
Mm.
people may want to do more remote consultation, and see less physical
Yep.
patients sometimes, and more
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
telemedicine, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing, you
Yeah.
see.
I,
And
I
the
I see
cloud
that
email.
yep. I see that
Go
more
ahead, go
people
ahead.
are more they are more open-minded in accepting a cloud system compared to before COVID era. Actually, I mean, we do have some curious doctors from time to time asking us how can they change the system from a manual clinic, or even from a system A to system B, all this kind of thing. So today itself, right, I'm probably going to talk to all the doctors and the doctors itself who are watching this video, like a process and the challenge itself, right, from maybe no system to a system.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to share my screen now.
Mm.
Okay, contact. Okay, let me know if you can't see my screen.
You can always, those who are viewing, if you're on a phone, turn it on the side or maximize the screen so you can see the
Yeah,
loading
I
more
think
clearly.
landscape will be better. Landscape. So
Yes.
we will have a very quick session. I think most of the time will be catered to these F&Q session. I'm sure there are some doctors who have some questions. Maybe they are too shy to call us or WhatsApp us. So maybe during this session itself, right, they can text us, drop us a question. Then we can answer that over this video. Okay, so I'll begin my presentation itself. So for the system migration itself, right, there's actually it's not really difficult as what the doctor think it is, right? Okay. So there are three types. There are actually three types so far that we have encountered. So the easiest one would be a new clinic. Okay, a new clinic itself, they have nothing. So it could be they're going to open a new clinic. Okay, start from zero. Okay, no staff, no drug, nothing. So this is the easiest types of client for us actually. Okay, easiest because they don't really have any complication. Okay, so second would be the manual clinic. So manual clinic itself, right? It could be the clinic has been operated for over 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, or even from like a father passed to a daughter. Then the daughter or the son itself, right, may want to change to system. Okay, the last category would be this clinic has been using system for quite some time and they want to change to maybe a better system or maybe some system go cloud, because in Malaysia itself, right, cloud system is actually quite, I would say it's quite new compared to the market over in Malaysia itself, right. So all along in Malaysia, I mean for the past 15 years, right, most of the system out there are actually using the clinic. The server is a local server, which means the server sits inside the clinic. You can only access to the data in the clinic. Once you go outside, right, you can't access to the data. But if let's say you're going from the local system towards the cloud system itself, right, which means that with internet and a proper hardware, you can access the data anytime, anywhere. Okay, so we go to the next one. Okay, so what are the expectation and the process of all this in terms of from no system or maybe got system to a new system? So I'll be talking from a point of view, a very neutral perspective. Okay, if let's say you're a new clinic, they are looking for a system itself, right? I think the first question you have to ask yourself, what are you actually looking at? Are you actually looking to streamline your patient data, or are you actually looking for a system they're going to capture all your billing, or maybe just want to do panel? So when we onboard a doctor itself, we definitely ask them like, what are you actually looking at in a system, because they're trying to compare us, definitely. Okay, trying to compare us. So they say there are so many systems in the market, right? So what are you guys different? Okay, so first of all, so once you get the system criteria, then you filter your system. Okay, so if let's say talking about from a new clinic perspective itself, right? Okay, new clinic, okay, very clean, nothing. So once they got to a system, okay, then they will have to prepare all these drug lists. They have to prepare all these or service itself, the header is very common thing. It should be quite fast. So for those doctors who are very prepared well, within for a new clinic itself, I think less than a week you can get a system set up with all the data which you need. Okay, so second would be the manual clinic. Okay, so for manual clinic is a bit tricky. Okay, manual clinic is a bit tricky. Okay, so first of all, because the clinic has been ongoing for some times, so in order for a manual clinic to go to a system clinic itself, right? Okay, so the first thing itself, right, you have to get whatever things you have in your clinic, right, to go soft copy. So meaning to go soft, okay, it's like I have seen some of the manual clinic out there itself, but even for the past few months, right, we have on board a few manual clinic, right? So we have seen it's quite common. Okay, they list down all their drugs, the prices itself, the service itself, right? They write on a piece of paper, they stick it on the wall. Okay, then every staff itself, they will just refer to the piece of wall, the piece of paper, to know how much is there, what are the service itself, right? What are the panel, all the accounting contact itself, right? So for manual clinic, right, you have to get to all this data into a soft copy before you can even go to a system. So that's the first step. Okay, once you have all this data, right, the rest is the same. Okay, so the third one would be a clinic with a system. So commonly in Malaysia, right, so for those clinic who are using system, right, so mainly I would say mainly would be clinicists, gluco, doctor assist. So these are all the major player in the market now, especially in Malaysia. So when you want to change from a system A to system B, okay, so make sure first question itself, is the system capable of doing a backup? Okay, so once you have the backup itself, right? Okay, so is the backup readable, or are they the latest backup? Okay, so once you have all this backup itself, right, it will be quite streamlined from there onwards, because this data will pass on to your next software provider. Okay, next software provider would open the file and they would get the data from there for the migration itself. So from there, right, it's actually difficult from the system backup itself, right? Because some of the system outlet itself, they may have a password that lock your data. So this one you must check very carefully. So even you're not changing any system, you just want to have a data backup on yourself, right? You have to make sure that the data itself is readable, not just using their system to open the file. So this is very, very important. Okay, so I'll move on to the next slide. So next slide will be the challenge. Okay, so regardless of which are the category you are in, right, for the document itself, right, there are definitely some of the challenge. So the most common challenge would be the staff training. Very difficult. Okay, we have trained so many staff, so many doctors themselves, right? The common one would be the staff. Okay, so why is it the staff? Because this I would say that the staff over in Malaysia itself, right, there are many types. Okay, so it could be ranged from a very young, fresh graduate all the way to have worked over 20 years in your clinic. So these are the loyalty staff that work with you since your father, your mother era. So to train them to use a system, right, it can be very, very difficult. Okay, so I have a colleague that have been trained a clinic, I think since last October, since last October. It's like every week, right, they are having some refreshment class. Very difficult. Okay, so second itself would be the it's not really more a challenge. I would say it's more like the budget constraint, the budget, because in order to go to a system itself, definitely you have to get a hardware, a proper hardware. So for a common clinic, right, the minimum computer that you need to have, right, is two laptop or two PC. Okay, so this will cost up to around maybe 3 to 4,000, depending the spec you are looking at. So some doctor may say that budget could be a challenge. They want to have something cheaper, so therefore they get something which is the lower spec. But all this itself, right? So once in the future, once you bought like 1 year, then the rest itself, the computer can become very slow. Okay, then you have to purchase a new PC again. So all this all hardware challenge. So okay, the last one I will probably think it's not really for training. It's more like the adaptation of everyone. Can they accept the new way of operating? So I could have do process ABC before the system. Now I have to force myself to do process ABCDEF. Okay, so if everyone's that agree and they are in the same boat, right? Okay, the system, regardless of any system, right, they can smooth slowly. I could say the earliest is about 2 months, the fastest, very smooth, no more question. So it could be take even longer, like 6 months. So even now itself, after a clinic has been using our system for a year, right? So from time to time, right, they still have some questions, very basic question. So it could be solved in the very early stage, but they only realize towards the maybe 6 months later. Okay, so there's a challenge itself. Okay, so hang on, let me see. Okay, so I'll try to make all this short because I don't want to become like a very long-winded person. So we try to make it short and sweet. So if there's any questions, right, okay, we're happy to accept all this and you can answer at this during these sessions.
Okay, thanks, Alice.
Yep.
I think for those who are thinking about going into a cloud-based EMR, I mean, they might be interested to know. I think you're having a promo, isn't it?
Yes. We are doing a year-end promo now to do a proper closing for the year 2020 itself. So any doctors, or maybe it could be our existing doctor that are watching us now, right? So if you manage to refer a friend, a clinic itself, right? So both clinic, they are entitled for a 3 months complimentary for both clinic, and also entitled for one MyCard reader which worth 165 ringgit. So this MyCard reader, right, can read the blue color IC, which is the Malaysian, and the red color MyKit. So as far as I know, right, I'm not sure whether other system itself I can read the MyKit, because this MyKit is actually an updated driver from our ends.
Okay, so that's something. This will run until promo will be until?
It'll be until next year February. We're gonna run this for 3 months. Let's see how it goes, and maybe we have a very good reception. Okay, we could probably extend it. We're just trying, just testing the market.
Yeah, I think it's very important to realize that you guys are an independent company and you're not tied in with any pharma group or any.
No, we are neutral party.
Yeah, I'm always a bit concerned when cloud-based EMR is bills itself as free or is very cheap, like 5-10 ringgit a month or something. It's a very difficult, non-sustainable cost, and there will be a catch because if the system is owned by, say, a pharma group or something, it may be a concern where the patient data is going to. And I think data security is extremely sensitive data. I think it's something you, as doctors, should be concerned about.
Correct. Because to maintain a server, right, is actually very, very expensive. Just to maintain a Vixo SEMAS itself, right, we are paying few thousand USD per month. Sorry, per year. This is few thousand per year. Then even monthly itself, right, we do have a variable cost for few hundred. So this is to do with the upload, download. If anyone like the doctor himself, right, they download like a 6-month report, one report, or even download a mass photo from our Amazon itself, right? So all this is all costing to us. So to pass a system as like a zero cost or even like a 10 ringgit per month, right? I would think this is quite a crazy idea. Okay, so then the money must come from somewhere else. Okay, so if you're not paying the money for the subscription, right, there should be some funny behind lah. Okay, I don't want to say
would
all
think
this.
just look carefully at the terms and conditions, whether
Sure.
they have any rights for data mining or whether the patient data it goes somewhere else as well.
Sure.
The other thing is actually, a lot of doctors may not be very technically savvy and just scared of. So is it easy or difficult? I have a comment from one of your users, Dr. Betty Tay, who says,
Dr. Betty Tay. Hi, Dr.
Betty. Betty is watching and she says they are vouch for you and their after sales service extremely easy to use and even access from mobile phone. Actually, the other thing is if it's cloud-based, it means it runs on the browser. So if your design is very clean and simple, and more important, the term is responsive. That means your design can work in any screen size, be it a laptop or a tablet, or as it shrinks down to a mobile phone. That the EMR is still very usable and everything doesn't go haywire, no matter what screen size you use. So that is called a responsive design. So I think Vixo is a very responsive design and so easy that when you log in, even with a mobile phone, you can actually view. So imagine you are, you get a call and you need to look up some patient data urgently. You get this from anywhere. Even you're at a restaurant or at home or something. You're not. I think this is the power of a cloud-based system that you can access it no matter where you are, as long as you have internet connection.
So this is also this is also the double-edged sword, I would think, because for a cloud system to go proper, right, like Dr. Tay you say, right, you need to have like the internet. So without internet, right, the system can't do very well. So I do receive a text this afternoon from a doctor saying that the system, right, is not running very smooth since yesterday. Okay, since yesterday it's not running smooth. So for this one itself, is if let's say our software, right, is not really smooth running, if there's a lag itself, I think not even 1 minute, right, all my colleague phone will visually ring already. Okay, so you don't have to wait for like a 2 days later to text us whether our system is it lagging now. Okay, then if really that's happened to our current user or even our any future user that using Vixo itself, right? So if it's lagging, we are the first person to know because there are so many doctors using us. So if let's say if not really from our end, okay, so the first thing to do is just to have to reset your router, because we noticed that we have a few 24-hour clinic itself, right? Their clinic keep on running. their router, their modem, right, it's not off. It's not off, not even once a week. So that's the solution we're giving the doctor who run 24 hours. So reset the router and modem. Then after that, you're back to normal.
Yeah, very good.
Mm.
So nowadays also you'll have backup internet connection. Say your broadband dies, you can always hotspot a mobile phone.
Wait, it's a plan B, like it's a plan B over in Malaysia.
Uh,
Yeah.
some of us have two mobile phones. We have Plan B and Plan C.
Yeah, I mean, the plan C would be you have to export. You have to export your drug list because they can't remember how much they're selling a certain drug. You know, a certain like a Benadryl syrup, how much they're selling. They can't remember. So the plan C would be you have to export the file. Export the file. You keep it like a piece of paper somewhere in the clinic. If really sway lah, really sway, then you have to just look at the paper. So at least there's a price list that the clinic still can operate minimum first. So after that, right, you can use the system back again if the internet goes well.
Yeah, I think that would be like a major power outage. No electricity completely.
Yeah.
You don't have a
Yeah.
backup generator, which should be Plan D actually. Every
Yeah,
clinic
correct.
backup
I think this
generator.
year there is two clinic. There is two clinic over at the Sepang. I think 1 hour and 2 hour over at Sepang. The earlier this year 1 or 2 hour. Then another would be in the Sabah area. So that one is a bit tricky. That one is the TMNet down. TMNet down. Then they have to hotspot the whole clinic for almost a week.
Yeah. You know, when we are doing this live CPD or live Saturday Night Live, we always worried
Yep.
that Unify would actually mess up. And actually, a couple of weeks ago, we were doing a CPD with my orthopedic colleagues, and
Yep.
the internet just was so cranky for both sides. And then it was only towards the end, which is a bit of a shame. And even this
Yeah, but
afternoon,
luckily lah. Yeah.
we are doing one grand rounds with the SGMC cardiology team. At the beginning, also the Wi-Fi was very poor. Luckily, we shifted. You know, if we get to where the signal is stronger, and then actually it was fairly alright.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that's
you're
one of
running
the concern also lah.
cloud EMR. I think internet backup would be very important. I think, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions out there from anybody for Alice or about cloud EMRs in general? I think, I mean, there are other systems. There's Vixo, but they're more and more coming on because they realize the power of the cloud. Security-wise, I think we had this session with the Andrew Taylor from CHUP, you know, a couple of weeks back on Saturday, and he talked about cybersecurity. So we asked the question, now, which is actually safer, a standalone clinic software or a cloud system? Actually, you suspect whether the cloud will be hacked, but actually, a lot of hacking is through phishing nowadays, through emails.
Correct.
Click on the wrong email, and then your computer systems all get infected.
Correct.
And then
It's
what
usually
happens is,
within the internal, yeah.
yeah, so actually, if you're not running a cloud, to me anyway, I'm not an expert, but if you're not running a cloud system, if your local computers all get infected, you're dead. You can't use them. You know,
Yeah.
you can be a victim of ransomware. You just use. Whereas with a cloud system, just forget it. Bring an uninfected laptop, and you're back on.
Yeah. But even for our side, we're talking about security wise, right? Okay, so if let's say, right, okay, you're suspecting that someone is using an account to do something suspicious, can always let's say for those Vixo users itself, right, they can always give us a call, right? We can stop the account, or we can close the whole account temporarily, or even just to pinpoint particular username to stop all the activity. We could do that from our back ends.
But your system also allows different access levels, isn't it? Say, even if it's a locum doctor, you can restrict what the locum doctor can do, right? Access to only
Yes. So for locum doctor himself, right, is quite standard. I would say quite straightforward. So locum doctor can see the patients for today and whatever medical records to do with patient just today only. They can't do any other things. They can't go around like clicking other patient or clicking reports. They can't do that. Just focus on today's patients only.
So yeah, that would be extremely important as well. You don't want people other patient data, etc.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I
because
think
it's a cloud, yeah, because it's a cloud system itself, you may also worry, right? What if the Dr. Locum has the username and password or the website address, right, to access from outside beyond the working hour? Okay, what can the primary doctor do? So imagine that the Dr. Locum has stopped working. Okay, it's really end work. Okay, so what the doctor can do within our system itself, right? Okay, within the doctor name, they can always inactive the access. So once inactive, right, they cannot access from anywhere until the primary doctor active the account again.
yes. So I think these are things which people may not be aware of, or when they
Mm,
say, "Oh, we go to cloud EMR," but there's a lot
mm,
of power in the way you can configure your system, and the fact that it's
mm.
actually cloud-based.
Yep.
You are very agile. I think the way you can update, you can configure or customize
Mm-hmm.
at the server end. A lot of it's just basically web programming. It's not
Mm-hmm.
programming a local software. So
We will try to get more to the ground itself, right? It's like because we are managing two countries itself, right? So different country has a different needs. So when it comes to Malaysia, there's definitely a lot of different criteria. So the which is why you see like right now nowadays itself a big story. There is a monthly update. Okay, so a lot of changes. So some of doctors right can't even keep up with all the updates that we have. So it is very important that we segregate all the updates, right? So whether they use it or not, right? So it's very important to make sure that they can able to turn it off if they don't use it.
yeah, I think you set how many features you want.
Mm,
If you want it a very simple
yeah.
interface, that is fine. Or you want
Mm-hmm.
more powerful features, you just add on, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Correct.
yeah, I think that's great. I think
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the model is you don't purchase the software, you lease it like every month, something, and then
But there is also a concerns about this because there are also some of the doctors that are worried, okay, because they are paying subscriptions, right? So
mm,
most of the common question is right, if I don't purchase the software itself, right, because all along, right, the doctor are used to this mindset, so I pay like 5,000, 6,000 to have to own this software, okay, so you don't anyhow like change your pricing if I'm going to subscription. So let's say right now for a week, so it's 2 years, this amount X amount of per month, right? So what happened on the third year? Very common question because they are
yeah,
scared that we suddenly hijack to like 300, 500. They are like stuck. They can't do
yeah. What if
anything
you
because
suddenly up the
yeah,
price? Yeah, I think doctor want to
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Will
I
that
mean
happen?
we try to keep it as low as we can, but recently all this cost, right, is really coming to us, especially the Amazon server cost. So
Mm.
if imagine that the server has no increased pricing, we have a steady flow of decline, definitely we will want to keep the same amount of the subscription per month. But what if imagine that like next 2 years itself, the Amazon server is telling us, oh, we're going to increase your storage to this, you have to pay this amount. So we have no choice. We have no choice to increase our client. So as much as we increase all this cost itself, we also would like to also increase all the features that we have for the doctors. It is like they are paying more for actually for more additional feature which benefit their clinics. It's not just like a steady you have the version 1.3, this is the server, this is the software, then 2 years later you are paying for the same thing. So we are not like that. We wanted to have for the doctors to have the latest features, latest function, right? Even we increase, right, at least they are happy to pay us. Okay, you have all these features which benefit my clinic, I also can earn from all the module that you have.
Of course, if the doctor wants to
Mm.
migrate from your system to another, it's possible too, isn't it?
It's possible as well. It's possible. So we don't really hold ransom. Imagine that, but so far we don't have anyone quick us. Okay, touch wood. Okay, everyone is very happy with us. Okay, so if so for the because for coming next year is starting coming January and February, right? We do have doctors that are end contract with us for 2 years really, because our first doctor that signed up with so is actually back in January 2019. So next month, which is next year already, right? So we're going to go through we're going to renew all this contract, all this group of doctors to chat with them. Okay, so if there's no changes, okay, so we're going to continue this contract for another 2 more years. So if let's say they are not happy with us, right, okay, so we can just write to us. Okay, just write to us that they're no longer happy with blah 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 and so on, right? They would like to withdraw from the subscription and so on. So from there onwards, right, the doctor will have to sign an agreement that to release the data back to them. So once they're signed, okay, so all the data which is from the Excel file, okay, I think about 70 plus something. So all this file will return back to the doctor. So all this is Excel. So what they want to do with the data themselves, right, is up to the doctor. So we don't really mind much. So once they sign, release the data, so we just like wash and clean really. Okay, but imagine that if the doctor after a while they want to come back to us, right, they can still use back the same data and pass it for migration again.
Yeah, but it's testimony to you that for the feedback I'm getting, they're all very happy with the service. And
Yeah.
like Betty, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for all our Vixo doctor. They'll be
Do you
very
want
supportive
Betty
to
to come
us.
up? Betty is waiting to come on board. Shall we get her in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but she warned me she's wearing a Liverpool t-shirt. Maybe I shouldn't have. Okay, Betty, send you the link. You just join us and have a chit chat. Yeah. But anyway, it's for doctors working in multiple sites. How does it work out?
For multiple site, right? Are you referring to like a multiple clinic?
Clinics.
Multiple
Yeah.
clinic. Okay, so for multiple clinic itself, right? So currently the arrangement that we have for Avixo itself, right? Every single location that there is account, independent account. So saying that you have the location A clinic, then doctor from A go to B. So location B would have this doctor username. So they all operate as an independent. But if you need to like to know what are the patient from A go to B himself, right, you can always log in and log out. But this is only temporarily because coming next year itself, I think 2021, we are looking into working for the multi-data sharing. So multi-clinic, multi-location, multi-doctor. So this is a work in progress for next year. So they'll be
Hello,
able to
Betty.
pull. Yep, Dr. here already.
Yeah,
Hi,
she's
Dr.
downstairs. She's
Betty.
down there. Yeah. Hello,
Hi,
Betty. She's
Alice.
downstairs. Yeah, this side.
I'm in a
So,
mess,
Betty,
actually.
no, you look fine. The Betty has been an Avixo user since this year.
Maybe
September,
July or
October.
August. Yes, July,
I
August
can't
maybe.
remember. Yeah, but Dr. Betty
Okay.
really on board very fast. It's like snap. Okay, let's on board. What should I do?
Okay,
And
I
how did
just
you
want to
find
say,
it difficult? Yeah,
Mhm,
sure. Go ahead. Shoot.
okay. Okay, first I think I would like
mhm.
to thank Ellen and Alice, all with the AL, Ellen and Alice for saving my I can really say I think you all saved my career because at that point of time where I had to make a transition out of my previous practice, I was thinking on how am I going to get all my patients' database, and then Ellen introduced me to Avixo, and I find it that it is really really easy to use. That's one. And from Avixo, I then transfer a lot of my patients' database to my WhatsApp, business WhatsApp, so I could contact my patients. But I've come to the conclusion because I think Alice is always trying to sell this Avixo to clinics. But I think it is a very useful tool for specialists. One is because a lot of specialists don't see the patients
Oh, the connection is not so good.
Yeah, I think
their
Dr. Betty's side the line's very bad. Yeah.
assets.
Yeah. Okay.
They
Must be the Liverpool
think
t-shirt.
that if a hospital, I think patients are
Sorry,
patients
Betty, we are
are our
losing you. Yeah.
assets, and the
Yeah, I think sometimes
Mhm.
the issue, what she's
okay,
referring to is, say, if you
okay, the
work in,
relationship that we build with the patients can only be between.
Oh, I
yeah,
think we lost Dr. Betty.
yeah, never mind. Yep. Oh, she's
Oh, yeah,
back.
bye, Dr. Betty.
Sorry,
Okay.
your connection is
Yes.
a bit not
So
very
I
stable.
think
Yeah.
that yeah. So for any specialist that goes out, or even the current practicing specialists, they should all have their own database. Okay. And of course, at Vixo, why not? Because it's easy to use. It's handy. Okay. And then we will also see a time when maybe doctors will practice in multiple places, and it becomes very handy. For me, like say I'm now practicing in many hospitals. All my patients now do is they say that I'm free on this day. Where are you? Which hospital are you? And it doesn't matter because they know I have their file, so they can see me anywhere, their
Yeah,
convenience
I
now.
think,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I would say that you should sell to both clinics and also
Mhm.
specialists.
Yeah, I
I,
think,
I think
It's a
yeah.
very, very
yeah, because
Yep.
for specialists, right, who doesn't do billing, right, it will make sense because they can carry the data, within their laptop itself to every single location. But then imagine that a doctor
yes,
has a clinic at hospital A, then after that at hospital B, right? That would be quite difficult
yes,
because every
exactly.
single account, yeah, every single account accountants for the
Oh,
revenue.
it would be
So it's a different thing. So
Oh
if
no no
let's
no!
say
Because for
without
me,
an
it's got not. It's yeah. It's just
yeah,
yes. It's just about database.
mm,
Yes.
yep,
Not billing or
yeah,
anything.
then will work.
For
Yeah.
me, it is about pulling out database so
Mm.
that I know the patients and I know what medications, what was the investigation done, when was it done. It is so simplified for me. I find
There's
it
no, it's
an
not about
amazing
billing and
tool
all.
for
It's
It's more
clinical
for the
information.
medical
No.
record. Yeah.
yes
Yeah.
yes. It's not billing. It's not about billing of um you know prescribing or whatever. It is about keeping the
Mm,
content of the patient close to you at all
mm,
times. All
Yep.
times.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And of course, I
Yeah.
would like to say that after sales service with Alice is amazing also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Dr. Timothy.
Yeah, she will immediately message you back if you have problems, and then she will be to meet you and give you tutorial that is make it so simplified. So I just switch from not knowing anything, knowing everything. I'm very focused, Ellen.
Oh, well done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job,
Yes,
Dr.
I
Yeah.
would
Timothy.
say because of
Yeah.
Vixo, I think about 80 to 90% of my patients follow me out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So patients
Anyway, I think,
patients relationship with the
it's, yeah.
doctors
Yeah.
is made easier with Evixo.
Yeah.
Oh, we should
I
make it
think if
tagline.
yeah, no, I think it's also about patient safety. You can't be
Mm,
seeing a patient in one clinic or hospital running one system, and then say the
yes.
patient sees you in another clinic or another hospital running another system, and then you
Yes.
cannot go on pure recall what happened in the other encounter if there is
And then
no
the file may take a long
common
time to
database.
come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Mm. Exactly.
Recall
So
the file
actually,
is
yeah, you want
so for
to have
example, right,
information.
even some hospital have their own uh, what EMR system means uh, computer system. All I do is I go on to Evixo, I write everything in Evixo, I copy and paste into their system.
Yes. Yep.
So it is
Mhm.
so easy. And then I bring Evixo home, I bring Evixo everywhere I go. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a
And it is something actually also for telemedicine users. Let's say those
yes.
who practice telemedicine anywhere, if you can't access hospital EMR, if you're doing, telemedicine at home at night when you're free, you cannot base on recall. I mean, how can you recall what the
Yeah.
lab values or what medicines is on and all that? It's actually quite dangerous to practice. So having access to your clinical notes or at least a summary of some sort, I think is very important. And this is where maybe some clinics or hospital EMR managers are not. I mean, they're more worried about security and all that, so access may not be available remotely. But at least, in the past, a lot of us, specialists or doctors, they like to scribble down notes in your notebook or even mobile phone, a brief summary about a patient. So, you can recall. Sometimes you're going to keep interesting cases, you're going to write them up, or you want to, keep lists of, I know some of my colleagues, these are my lymphoma patients, these are my leukemia patients. So at least you have a track of it. But now, we are in the digital era, so we should not be doing all these things, but just
and
keep
it's so
simple field
affordable.
information. Yeah. So
And
I
I
think
think that it is also useful. I don't just make summary. The moment I have a medical record, it becomes a real medical record. And it makes my history taking very simplified. Because I'm a person that takes a lot of history, and loves to type easier than to write. I don't know. Maybe it's just my practice, but
yeah.
I think it's a very, very useful everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Betty.
And
Okay,
thanks to you guys for
Yeah.
introducing me to
Okay.
Avixo.
Yeah. Any
Okay.
other questions about cloud-based EMR? Anyone out there? Otherwise, we don't want to take too much of your time, Alice's time or Betty's time. Yeah. Is it Liverpool
Okay.
shirt? Really? It's red. I can't see
Yeah,
anything.
but it's the old one. It's New Balance. I haven't gotten a Nike one yet. This is what I wore
Never
to
mind.
work.
Haris is there. Haris is saying, I'm using my handphone now, though it's not iPhone Pro like Dobbs. Yes. When are you getting yours, Haris?
I thought Dr. Dobbs is not an iPhone person.
Hello. Okay. Thanks for watching and commenting. But I think we have a tech talk group in the Dobbs Telegram. If feel free to join, and there's also an Avixo Telegram group. So all these are linked from our bulletin board, and I just want to create a link. By the way, just a bit of advertising. Don't forget, we have a YouTube channel. Can you guys please go to youtube.com/c.malaysia and
Yeah, I subscribe
subscribe.
already, long.
Thank you, Betty. Subscribe.
Yes.
Also subscribe to Betty's channel, so it's likewise. But all we have created playlists now in our Docs YouTube channel. So there are playlists for our live section and also for our CPD section. So if you miss them, if you want to just watch again, you can head over to our YouTube channel and then view the playlist there. Okay, so youtube.com/c/Docs Malaysia. Thank you for subscribing, following, and hit the notification bell, as they say in just YouTube say. But I think every week we'll try to have something. Next Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays from now, Betty and Dr. Ahmad Niza will be presenting something for CPD from you. That's on the what day?
I'm very worried about that one. Really worried.
Don't worry, it'll be good. It'll be something very interesting on the 16th. Next Wednesday, I will announce it in the for the Docs Facebook group and Telegram what we have in store next Wednesday. Okay. So anyway, stay tuned. So anyway, any other last minute questions? Yes, Dr. Lim has one question.
What compulsory to install our record Amazon in multiple copies? What do you mean by multiple copy, Dr. Lim? Because from our end itself, right, we have actually 3 servers under Amazon. Okay, so one is the I forgot what's the name really. Okay, so one, we keep it our software, the software code in one server. Okay, so second itself, right, is all the data text like patient name, all your text-based medical records, so in one single server. Then third one would be all your uploads. So this is the practice that we have under Avixo. So Dr. Lim, when you say in multiple copies, right, what does it mean? Does it mean that they duplicate your medical record and store in a different server? Does it mean that?
Not sure. I think, yeah, we don't know. Okay. But I think some backup also would be important, at least offsite from
Of course,
clinic.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
We do have a Malaysia backup just in case Amazon want to do some funny things. Okay, then
Yeah.
if it really happen, then we can quickly switch to our internal backup. So the doctor
Yeah.
has no any down timing. Okay, so
Mhm.
if let's say Amazon down, so quickly switch to this backup server. Then once the Amazon server is up again, right? Then they can work as back as normal. It's like a mirror. It's a mirror copy. So it
So
wouldn't have
yeah.
any effect. So yeah, so Dr. Lim, so for your questions, right? If you have briefly know what's the multiple server. Not our end. We only have each one. One is data, one is the uploads. I don't think there's multiple server. But if you're
I'm
talking
not sure
about
what
like
would be
backup,
the advantage
yep.
of that. Yeah. I don't know what's
Yeah,
the
because
advantage
to
of that.
to
Yeah.
to keep a server, right, is very expensive. You want to subscribe more server, it's very expensive one.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Things are not free.
Hmm.
If it comes free, there's a
Yeah.
hidden cost. Just be wary. If it's free, there's a hidden cost. Yeah. So once again, yeah,
Maybe.
please subscribe to
Yep, yep.
youtube.com
Yeah.
C.
Subscribe to Dr. Ellen Tay on YouTube.
Yeah. All right.
Retirement
Thanks,
fund.
guys. Yeah, I'm having fun. Yeah. Anyway, it's good that we bring things to Dobbs in video format rather than, just text, sharing links, images, and
Mm.
chit chat and whatnot in social media. But real interaction. I mean, in human interaction as best we can in COVID era. So it's COVID that
Mm.
taught us a lot about how we interact with each other, how we educate each other, and how we inform each other, and now also how we
Mm.
maintain clinical records. Okay, and how a
Mm.
cloud-based system is
Yeah,
so
I
important
I
now.
think
Yeah.
this year also looking into a year of doctor, right, explore more towards the technology, right? So like Dr. Betty, there are also other doctor, they are learning how to using Excel. They learn how to use Excel, export it, then like find the patient who are under this range itself, like a certain condition, right? Then they'll use the data to text the patient to have all this relationship to maintain. They want to continue relationship, not just COVID, you cannot come to my clinic, therefore the relationship stop there. So they can connect via all this WhatsApp, Skype, Zoom call. I think technology now is great for all this health stuff.
Yeah, I think never before has
Mm.
technology been so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Okay, any other questions, guys? Otherwise, we will call it a night, and I'd like to thank Alice and Betty for
Yeah,
coming
thanks Dr.
online.
Betty for
Yeah,
promoting
yeah.
us
Don't
also.
forget to visit Betty. She has her own channel called Beating Hearts. Yeah,
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
I
yeah.
subscribe.
Just
I
just
like
a
every
Thank
shout
you,
of
out. You
it.
can find
Alice.
yeah, you can find Betty at Beating Hearts, and for Vixo, don't forget there is a promo going until February, so you can
End of
go
February, yeah.
to end of February, and you can go to Vixo CMS.com if you just want to check out and the cloud-based EMR from Vixo, and they have a promo for new signups. Okay,
And don't,
all
don't
right,
forget to mention promo code Betty. Yeah?
promo code Betty. Got that.
No,
Okay,
lah, don't have. Lah. Don't have.
all right.
Yeah, if
So
they mention
anyway,
enough, I'll bring you for good lunch, Dr. Betty.
Okay,
mm,
okay. See you then. Bye.
Yeah, bye
okay, good
bye.
night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Okay, I'm
Bye
ending the broadcast
bye.
now. Have bye.